we do have a couple reviews to get through, and I want to start off with the throwback review, man.
Okay.
This was actually requested from one of my guys, Adrian, man. Shout out Adrian.
Adrian, man. Good
Yeah,
brother, too.
yeah, good dude, man. And I want to shout him out because he reached out and was like, "Hey, man, why haven't y'all reviewed a 50 Cent album yet?" And I thought about it, and I was like, "Man, we haven't done Get Rich or Die Trying." So I want to get into that, man. Get Rich or Die Trying. I will say that this is one of the most impactful moments in hip hop history, just as far as just like all eyes on one artist and one movement. I there's not many moments that I could think of in my lifetime that were bigger than when 50 dropped. And yeah, man, what were your thoughts when you first heard Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent?
For sure. Like for me, this might be the most recognizable album cover in my youth period. Like the Louis fit, the broken glass, you know what I mean? Like it's just an iconic cover, and the songs and the music, the everything just matched. Like for 50 to be behind like Dr. Dre and Eminem, like to be hoisted as the next superstar in rap, and to back it up with songs like Wanksta, In the Club, PIMP, like bruh, like he was primed to be a superstar, and this album is reflective of that, like in every way. The production is top tier. Like those songs I just named are one of many that just like kind of blows you away, because they still sound, I can't say necessarily they sound maybe not modern today, but they definitely have that timeless element to it. And like, yeah, I mean, bro, he had one of the biggest debuts, I think, in the last maybe 25 years in hip hop. And this album, paired with the fact that there's a movie adapting his life, you know what I'm saying? And essentially the making of his music career, bro. Like it's just 50 was on top of the world. And when you listen to this album, you revisit it after almost over 20 years of its release, you start to discover why he was such a big musical mainstay, and why his now presence as pretty much like a film and show producer is just so out of like box. But you see why he's so revered as a musician too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I think that with 50 Cent branching outside of music, I think that there's a whole generation who doesn't know him as a rapper. And I think that is unfortunate, man, because this is one of the best debuts. Two album debuts in hip hop history. Like Get Rich or Die Trying and The Massacre are both amazing albums. And just to go into some of the songs that I really love, my first time hearing 50 Cent was Wanksta. Which is from this album, man. Fire. The production on this album is great. A lot of Dr. Dre, a lot of Eminem production as well. What Up Gangsta?
Fire.
Tough. Patiently Waiting. Another one, man. That was different. Many Man is actually a song that I use in class currently. I used it in my hip hop course this semester. I think that it paints such a vivid picture of what somebody in the streets could be dealing with and going through. It's just an amazing hip hop song. And even though I know our incoming president co-opted Many Men, and I hate that for this song, because this song is I don't want to see that attached to any politician, to be honest with you.
Not at all.
Many Man is just a different type of record, man, that I have a different level of love for. But Many Man, amazing. In the Club. When this album came out and that song dropped, you weren't going anywhere without hearing In the Club. No, like
nowhere.
The grocery store, the mall, anywhere you went, that song was playing, man. PIMP, believe it or not, man, me and my girls rap this disrespectfully to each other all the time. This is a song that for some reason, it has brought us closer together.
Wow.
Yes, very random, but love that song, man. 21 Questions is one of my favorite songs on this album. 21 Questions, I think Nate Dogg killed the chorus. Nate Dogg doesn't get
every chorus.
Doesn't deserve he does not get the respect that he deserves in music, especially in hip hop, man. I think that Nate Dogg was able to really altered the entire vibe of a lot of hip hop songs out of the West Coast and outside of the West Coast, like in an album like this. And I think that for that, man, he'll always be remembered. 21 Questions is a dope song. Another song that I really love, man. It's just a solid project, man. Dr. Dre's production on here is amazing. Eminem has some production on here. A lot of people don't really give Eminem credit for production and for him being a producer on other people's songs, but he's produced some solid tracks in his career. One of them on here being Patiently Waiting. I always thought that was some dope production on that song. And yeah, man, I think it's just an amazing body of work. I think that when it comes to what people label as gangster rap, I hate to put that label on certain albums just because, like, this is clearly him telling his story and his life. So I hate that we slap labels on it. But I think for those type of street albums, I think this is high on the list. And I think for the 2000s, it's one of the highest on the list. I think as far as that goes, just as memorable albums. Not a lot of wasted space on here. There's a few songs I could do without on this album, but not many. There's way more songs on here that I love than ones I don't like. There's only a few on here that I skip. So yeah, man, just an amazing project.
Yeah, and get into the ones I skipped. There's only probably one that I'm like, yo, I have to skip this. Like, I can't listen to this on Get Rich or Die Tryin'. Is Like My Style, and the only reason is because I love Tonya Yayo as a personality.
I knew
He's
you
the
were
wildest interview subject I've seen on a Vlad TV. I watch Vlad. I'm sorry, like it's not him, it's the guest. For me, but yeah, I don't want to hear him rap personally. You know what I mean? But he's a great entity within hip hop for other reasons other than rapping, which is crazy. But others exist.
Yeah. And you know. Yeah, I got off Vlad, man. I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? But I understand because he has some guests that like that's the only place you hear them. So that's
what I'm saying. And they diving into their whole life story too. You don't get to see that often. Like I know when I do interviews, you get 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's like, yo, I want 2 hours to talk about you know how you got to this point in your life. But you know, it's good for that. But yeah, like you said though, man. Great album. It deserves classic status, bro. It's one of the best. And we actually had this discussion too. Where would you rank maybe Get Rich or Die Tryin' as far as debuts, maybe, or just albums in general? The 2000, 2010.
Debuts, period. This is probably top 10 hip hop debuts.
Period in hip hop. All 50 some years. Okay.
I would really have to sit down and think about it, but it's gonna be hard for me to find 10 better because a lot of artists their first albums isn't their best.
I think Tupac. We talk about that with Tupac, or I do at least a lot. Yeah,
Tupac's album isn't his best. Biggie is one of those ones whose his first album is to me his best. Of course, Kanye, Nas. You know, you could throw Lupe in there for Food and Liquor. You could throw Mobb Deep. You can throw. I mean, there's other artists, but I don't know. I think to get to 10, because even Wu-Tang's first album isn't my favorite album. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's tough. I would have to like think about that more though. But
I really like Wu-Tang Forever. Wu-Tang Forever is my favorite Wu-Tang album.
You know what?
I think it's the best. It has the best production on it too.
You might be right, yo. I might if what I would herald as like if aliens came down to Earth. We talked about this. If aliens came down to Earth. 36 Chambers would be one of the maybe 15 albums I would play for them. Like, yo, this hip hop. But at the same time, Wu-Tang Forever is something I feel has more replay value now for me. So I agree.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree. 36 Chambers is definitely one of those.
Classic, bro.
Yeah, classic. Well, definitely. But I just don't. I just when I listen to both, I think that Wu-Tang Forever is just a more polished and well put together project for me. And I think it's also because of my work with audio stuff and with media stuff. Like 36 Chambers is mixed terribly, which I think adds character to it.
For sure.
I think works for what it is, but you could tell that thing was recorded in a basement somewhere. Like that project sounds like it's not mixed the best.
It sounds musty, like sonically, bro. That's the best way I could put it. It sounds like it has a stench on it. Like, you know,
but it works though.
Yeah, it works.
I think it adds to the character. I wouldn't want it any other way. But I think at the same time, the replay value for Wu-Tang Forever is just cleaner.
It's almost like in our era, it's almost like listening to what's the joint like vinyl, like on an actual record player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's what it is for us as young consumers too. You know,
absolutely.
for sure. So I got you, but it has that character to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it'll be hard for me to name 10 that I like better than this. I mean, we also got to go Lauryn Hill.
Oh, of course. That's like one of my favorite albums ever, bro.
Yeah, me too. That's up there. Like
Yeah,
across genre, that's up there.
for sure. That's tough. I would have to think
Yeah,
about
but
that.
we have to. Maybe we'll do that for next pod, man. We'll come up with a list of top 10 debuts.
That would be fire.
Yeah, because it's gonna be hard, but I think it's close. It's close up there for me. I think that this one is a like I said, it's just a standout, and I like how versatile it is. Like it's very, very versatile, and it gives you everything you want as a listener. No matter who you are, there's gonna be a song on here that sonically resonates with a listener. Like there's songs there's records that are for the women. There are records that are more hard that go crazy in your car. There's more like introspective, deeper records like a Mini Man. There's every type of record on here. There's club records. So I think like that's one thing that I really give this album a lot of credit for. Is just it's extremely versatile, and you can there's a lot that you could take away from it. No matter, I don't think there's anybody who could listen to this album and not find a song they liked.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And you're right in that it's versatile. There's even like a song, like a PIMP, like we talked about this. I couldn't imagine any Caribbean, like it's just an odd song I never thought a 50 Cent would hop on, but he makes it work. So that's a credit to his songwriting ability. And like I don't think 50 gets enough credit. Partly I think it's because G Unit, like it had a moment. Don't get it mistaken. But I feel like a lot of his artists outside of game didn't necessarily blow up to the same level as 50, but his eye for talent and his written ability is proof when you listen to Game's first album. Because Game's first album, was it the documentary? That's one of my favorite debuts in that era, probably too.
That's a great album. That's a great album, man. Game had a couple albums, man, that are amazing. He doesn't get credit because of all the theatrics and some of his. I feel like his stuff outside of rap got more attention than his actual music, and that's unfortunately because he's a great rapper.
He's a great rapper. And he a troll. He's a great troll too. So that's why, you know what I mean? People can kind of get distracted from the talent a bit.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But look, if you have never heard "Give Rich or Die Tryin" by 50 Cent, we highly recommend it.
Yes,
I think this is one of those albums that, as a hip hop fan or as just a music lover in general, you should at least check out one time.
At least once, bro.
At least once, man. So shout out to 50. On another note, man, we have a newer album that we want to talk about, and that album is by Cordae.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What's the name of Cordae's joint?
Crossroads.
The Crossroads by Cordae.
Yeah.